Happy birthday! Woo! I hope you're hungry. You should see that toast. I couldn't even get it through the door.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we are celebrating Macaulay Culkin's actual birthday 5 days early with an absolutely epic stack of pancakes. Not this stack, this is just a hilarious facsimile of what is to come. First thing is first, we gotta make us some pancake batter. Using a recipe from America's Test Kitchen, into a large bowl we are measuring 10 ounces of flour, dumping in 3 tablespoons of sugar and 4 teaspoons of baking powder, measuring out half a teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of salt. Meanwhile, in a slightly smaller bowl we are separating 2 large eggs from their shells, adding 1/4 cup of vegetable oil and 1 1/2 cups of whole milk. To this we are also going to add an optional half teaspoon of vanilla extract. We are then non-optionally tiny whisking both bowls' contents together until homogeneous, and then combining the two to let the dry and the wet get to know each other. Give this a cautious mix together with a rubber spatula until very lumpy with a few dry streaks of flour. Everything your dad told you was right, you do not want to overmix pancake batter. We're going to cover this and let it rest at room temperature for 10 minutes, after which time you'll be very excited to discover it looks exactly the same. But you will notice that the mixture has become thicker and less lumpy. That's because we allowed the flour to hydrate. And so now it's time to head over to the stovetop, where we've got a teaspoon of vegetable oil preheated in a non-stick skillet. Into this skillet we're going to deposit 1 solid ladle full of pancake batter, bearing in mind that the first pancake is always the sacrificial pancake. It will always turn out weird, there is nothing you can do to prevent this. But there's no need to waste it, you can put it at the bottom of the stack, and even the most eagle-eyed of internet audiences will not be the wiser. Let's just top the stack off with our prettiest pancake, and there we go. A nice easy recipe for some nice easy pancakes. But this stack is not even close to Culkin worthy. I tried all the largest cooking vessels in my house with varying degrees of success and failure, but try as I might, I just couldn't hit the epic scale achieved by the Candyman. But I had an idea of who might have both the tools and the know-how to reach the pancake critical mass that my most conservative estimates put at around 40 inches. So I packed my bags and headed to Boston, Massachusetts, burdened with glorious purpose, to meet up with my buddy Dan Souza of America's Test Kitchen and try to crack the case of the giant pancake. We started in their test kitchens, where we toyed with their countless flapjack formulas. Having settled on one with sufficient viscosity, rise, and tensile strength, we arrived at the challenge of flipping. Frying pans gave way to sheets of steel, and spatulas gave way to pizza peels as we attempted to cook up a pancake worthy of the John Candy seal of approval. But to no avail. The biggest one we were able to make barely topped out at 16 inches, so we knew we had to seek help elsewhere. Luckily, the test kitchen offices are sat directly on top of the robotics labs of Autodesk, where we thought we might find a solution.
You've done this before, haven't you?
This is my very first time sketching a killer pancake robot.
Like the Apollo-era NASA scientists of old, we crunched the numbers and developed our pitch for Paul Sohi, leader of iconic projects at Autodesk.
Paul, thank you so much for meeting with us today. We've got a big project here. I think you're the man for the job. And we brought a little presentation.
All right, so as you know, John Candy, Uncle Buck. The year, 1980 something. The food, pancakes. The character, gruff but lovable. Snow shovel?
The implement.
Now, we've done some calculations. As you can see, this is a graph of time versus robot.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of time scales for you. You can see this
Composition.
is a math formula.
Yes.
So you can see full-size robot, arsenal on the back.
This is a tank for scale. This is an M1 Abrams tank for scale. It is engaged in combat with the robot as in this depiction. However, we don't anticipate that happening
Totally,
necessarily.
No.
I'm not going to bullshit you. This is dangerous. Okay?
We're not bringing this opportunity to anybody else. We came to you first.
So, are you in or are you out? Right now, just to really drive it home.
See what we're talking about? It's the Candyman.
Gentlemen,
We got a deal?
let's build a robot.
Let's do this.
Needless to say, he immediately funded and staffed our project, and a group of professional industry-leading engineers set to work on designing tools, fabricating a cooktop, and programming a giant robot to bring our vision to life. When we got word that the mechanical beast was ready to do our bidding, we mixed up the pancake batter, donned our safety glasses, and entered the lab, starting first with a little tiny pancake as a proof of concept.
Hey!
1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's this crap?
This isn't that. We don't want that. Get that out of there. I think we're gonna need a lot more clamps. We're gonna need a lot more clamps.
We got clamps. I mean, we're getting pretty consistent temperature through. Okay, it's a little hotter over there.
It's done. It's like, it's ready to rock.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that needs to get flipped. Just go for it. Whatever God you pray to. Oh! Maybe cancel the.
Upon reviewing the footage, we determined that the first flip failed for a few reasons. The pancake sticking, the angle of approach of the spatula, and the speed of the scoop. With some extra lube for the cooktop and some minor reprogramming of the bot, we were ready for attempt number 2.
Ready?
All right, 1, 2, 3.
And it's looking good on this
Yeah, I
side.
know. It's a gorgeous pancake.
No doubt about it. Ready? Oh, that's flush. Oh no!
Yeah, that was the only problem. All right, let's not move it anymore. If that were closer, we would have done it. We can do this.
Yeah, just need it further back.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah! We got this.
The pancake was no longer sticking, but we now had to get it fully on the shovel. We decided to ask the engineers to pause the robot after the initial scoop so we could rush in with pizza peels to coax it the rest of the way on before the big flip.
Gorgeous.
Fine by me.
Nice, looks great.
Color's good.
Beautiful. It's just the shit. Yeah, lighter but fine. Here we go.
Oh, all right, stop.
Stop. There we go. A little bit more.
Oh yeah, okay. Good call. Good call. Come on. This is it.
The problem this time was that the pancake was sticking to the shovel, and the only solution was to work more quickly before too much condensation formed betwixt the cake and the spatula. But by the 4th attempt, we had our routine down to a science.
Right?
Yes! Woo! Hell yeah, dude. It's all right.
It's done. We did it.
It's perfect.
Guys, we made a pancake.
Who knew a robot could make such a beautiful pancake?
I wasn't there for the moon landing, or the climbing of Everest, or when our ancestors finally mastered the delicacy of music, the unwieldy might of electricity, the raging mystery of fire. Mankind has had its wealth of defining moments, seemingly impossible obstacles that only the warm light of knowledge could eventually surmount. And with each tiny step into the abyss of the unknown, we inch ever closer to the answers that lay in wait at the intersection of our curiosities and our humble beginnings. When the biggest minds in food and robotics came together, blurring the line between man and machine and pancake, moving in concert and collectively straining in the pursuit of a delirious dream realized, I'm proud to say I was there. I can hardly take any of the credit for this achievement. Dan Souza, Paul Sohi, and the dozens of great minds teeming in the nerve center of Boston's iconic projects and test kitchens are the ones that locked eyes with the impossible and said plainly, no. I am, as ever, your humble steward on the journey through the foods of fiction, and these manic innovators are welcome additions to the list of torchbearers that light the way. Anyway, happy early birthday to Macaulay Culkin. Now, let's see what this thing tastes like.
All right, can I do a little, you like syrup on your pancakes?
No, I like to eat them dry. All right. All right, careful. It's going to go everywhere. Let's get a bite of this before it destroys itself.
You want to help me serve you, or
I think we should just
dig right in? 5-year-old Dan is so proud of Dan right now. Cheers.
And it's a good pancake. Guess what?
What?
Good pancake.
I have to say, I have a new appreciation for all that happens inside of a pancake. What the baking soda does and the baking powder.
Oh, well, Dan and I would love some privacy while we finish this.
Thanks so much, man. This was so much fun.
Thanks for having me. This doesn't happen to me every day.
Really? You don't do this every day?
No.